morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is morning while I am doing this video. I was doing my worship. Not the, you know what I mean? It seems like I'm just this perfect individual that just wakes up and does his worship. But I had to speak on doing my worship due to the fact that when I do my worship, I feel like I'm a worshiper. This is me finding me in the Lord. This is me seeking God on a daily. Like he say, seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will be added. But this is me seeking, and in the midst of me seeking, this is what I come across. So far, it may not even be right. So you can't hold it to. I can't hold me to it. I will be accountable for my words. But this is how I feel at the moment. That worship is, you know what I mean, I guess you could say one of my gifts. I worship, and like some people are great with prayer. Some people are great with praying for one another, and they get a word through God for praying for others. I feel like my prayer or my revelation or like he talked to me throughout the day. I hear him, yeah I do. But it's like I hear him clear, and he was able to download to me and work through me when I'm in a worshiping state, or in conversation, in the middle of conversation when I'm with like someone come to me, and I look at stuff like this. I look at anything as a divine appointment, whether I'm receiving or the other person receiving. You know what I mean? It's like this here. Nothing happened by coincidence or accident. I look at it like this here. First and foremost, somebody going through a crisis or hard times in life, or not say hard times in life, a hard time in life, and they don't know what else to do, and you pop up in their mind, and they call you. And they're like, I don't know why, something just told me to call you. Something just told them to call you. Whether you have something at that moment or not, don't go get self-righteous because you know that something is God that told them to call you, and start speaking from your perspective and your point of view. You pray. Like me, I'll be listening, and I'll be trying to connect to God while I'm listening. I'm like, God, okay, you send them to me, and I don't want to speak. And I would tell them, like, sometimes I would tell them straight. You can ask some of the people that call me. I'm not putting people's names out there. But if anybody see this video, and you know some people that's connected to me, and if you felt like asking them, have you ever called him in a crisis? And what did he say to you? You know what I mean? Most time in the beginning of the conversation, I just let them pour their heart out, or speak on the subject, or whatever the case may be, and I'll be praying in my head while I'm listening. I'm like, God, if you got a word for him, and I'll tell them sometimes, like, well, I don't even know how to move. I don't even know what to say, but I will be praying. That's normally how I try to move. But today is not on that. Today is on me connected to him. And the revelation I just got today may not be for nobody else, but it was definitely for me. And in the midst of this, I pray it gets deep. You know what I mean? I'm not on social media, so that's why this isn't on Facebook. But eventually it may be. But at the moment, I had to get rid of all the distractions, and social media was a distraction. Like, I couldn't focus on what God is trying to do in and through me by focusing on past hurt and people going out their way to try to belittle me or make me feel worse, you know what I mean, than the state that I am in. But at the same token, it's life, and people are people. So don't hold things to people. Don't rebuttal. Don't, what's the word I'm looking for? Shot for shot, tit for tat. Two wrongs do not make a right. Let me get that right. Two wrongs do not make a right. And don't, just because you don't move the way they move, don't make you no better than them. So if you don't retaliate, you don't, you know what I mean, move how they expect for you to move, doesn't make you the bigger or better person. It just means that you are maturing in Christ, or you are maturing throughout life, and you understand that most of the time people are operating from a hurt and broken place, or operating from bitter and anger, which is, I don't know, I mean, I guess you could say it comes from, I guess, being hurt. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to get out of the wrong word, but that's not what that's on. I'm not on social media for self-growth, self-reasons, you know what I mean? Self. I hear self throughout this. Life isn't about self. But don't get it misconstrued. I will speak on that in a minute. But just know that this video, which is 5 minutes in, which I should have already been jumped on the subject, but let me go ahead and knock all the rest of it out the way, the beginning part, and then I'm going to sit the phone down. So if you see the screen go blank, it's not a mistake. That's a part of the illustration. I guess that's what it is. I gotta touch up. I gotta touch up in areas. That's an area I gotta touch up. But it's a part of, I want to say illustration. It's a part of the illustration, of the demonstration, of me trying to get the word across. I'm a parent, I'm a father, but I'm also a son. Both of my parents are alive, thanks to God. And my stepmom is alive, and my stepdad, well, yeah, I got a new stepdad. So yeah, I got 2 step parents and my parents, by the grace of God. But I had to speak on both point of views. And I'm 35 years old with 3 biological kids and 2 that I love like my own. So total 5 kids. So they're gonna get from me, they'll forever get the love of a father. So as a parent, I got this word from, like, I had to open my mind because I was lost by my circumstances and everything that was going on around me in life. I'm going through some stuff at the moment. And they was basically, I spoke to my brother Tyrone on this subject. Expect for your world to be shaky. Expect for the attacks, because they coming. You know what I mean? But just know that God is with you. Psalms 23. Remember that passage. A lot of y'all know about heart. My son used to know about heart. I'm not sure I'm going to test those waters whenever I make it to him. But I guess you could say this like a love letter to them. And if I get to do it or say it in person, that'll be a blessing. I'm pretty sure I will, you know what I mean? Because I haven't seen the promises of God in my life yet. And I know he's not a man that he should lie. So I should make it home safe in one piece in order to be able to at least tell it to my son, but to my oldest daughter, my baby boy, and my 2 stepchildren who I haven't seen in a minute. This is for y'all as well. And it's how God is basically wanting us, like, if you sit back and reflect as a parent, and I'm guessing this goes for even our parents, you know what I mean? How much do you love your kid? You love your kid regardless. I love my kid regardless. I can't speak on y'all. I'm speaking from me. So let's get on me. I love my children regardless. They ain't gotta do nothing above and beyond to make me proud. I'm already proud of them. They already bring joy to my life on a daily. And once I saw that from that perspective, and I got that from this song, Elevation Worship, Chandler Moore, The One You Love. And that came from me having an open mind. I had to go back to it because my mind be all over the place. I think of one thing and I jump to it. And it could be a gift and a curse because sometimes I forget to go back to what I was speaking on. But that song, I was in it. I like to do things by 3. Sometimes just keep going and keep going. Because if it keep ministering to my soul, then I'm going to keep listening to it. But I listened to it 3 times, and the more I dived in, the more I got more understanding. I'm probably going to dive right back in as soon as I finish this video. Long story short, that's what I got from it. But getting that, I got how God somewhat sees us, because we'll never fully understand how he sees us. But it also made me see how my parents saw me. And me even as a 35-year-old man, I'm trying to prove. I'm trying to make my mama proud, my daddy proud, my grandma, because she don't, Lord, thank you for my grandma. I done lost everybody else, but I thank you for it. And I was trying to make everybody else proud. I was trying to get everyone, I was working hard for everyone else's approval. even guys. So the passage of this is, he loves us regardless. But his heart is cheerful. He is very cheerful when we keep his commands, when we do things, you know what I mean, that's along his path, when we come to him, when we move in his presence, when we in his presence, when we soak up the presence, when we walk righteously. It makes his heart cheerful, but he's proud of us regardless. He loves us regardless. And our work should be because we love him back. We should want to be the best version of ourselves because we love him back. And that's that. So, and when I had my breakdown yesterday, cause I had one, and I'm pretty sure other parents have, but mine was from the child's standpoint. So that's why I said first I'm gonna speak on the parent, now I'm gonna speak on the child. And I'm sitting here like I'm crying out to God, but I'm doing I'm trying my best to keep your word. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to walk righteous. I'm trying my best to check me. I'm trying my best. Why is this happening to me? And it's happening to me for me to understand that hard times happen. And we focus on what's happening to us more than we focus on staying connected to him. We'll miss it every time. It ain't about what we do and how we do it. We just know that if it ain't our time to go, that's a weapon formed on the outside that cannot prosper. It may look like it's very prosperous at that moment. And a lot of people like to speak on things when they're out of it and they overcame it. I'm still in the midst of it. I still don't know what my next move is. Everything looks cloudy and dark. I'm giving it to you straight up. It looks cloudy and dark. But I know that God got me regardless. And that's from a child's standpoint. So to my mama and my daddy and my grandma that's still here, well, I love y'all and I thank God for y'all, man. And due to the fact that y'all love me regardless, the love I have for y'all, the best way I can examine that or make y'all proud is doing the works of God without trying to make y'all proud. I can't make somebody proud of me if they ain't already proud of me. I can't make somebody love me if they don't already love me. In other words, a lot of folk would like to beg a diff on that. Yeah, but why does it take for you to achieve something for somebody to be like, I'm proud of you? In other words, as the dad, I love my kids regardless. They got talent regardless. If you failing in school, I'm on your head because that's important to me. You know what I mean? That's important to me. But at the same token, I love you regardless. You should want to be the best version of you in school, for you for one, mainly for you. But, you know what I mean? Out of the love for your mama and your daddy, like, man, look, they work hard for me. I'm doing this for me so I can have a better education and a better opportunity, better opportunities in life. But at the same token, I just need to stay focused on the task that's at hand. In other words, and the task that's at hand for us, period, or the children of God, is staying connected and focused on what He wants us to do and how He wants us to move. So now that I'm in the middle of this, hopefully, whoever this is for, I know it was for me. Whoever this is for, I'm gonna sit their phone down. I'm gonna speak loudly. You know what I mean? You're gonna have my wife, my dad, stepmom, anybody that know me, that I'm not a loud speaking person. But I need for people, let me rephrase that. It ain't I need. We need to grasp this illustration, grasp this demonstration that I'm about to put this phone down the way you can't see me, because it's not about the person on the screen. Because I know a lot of times recently, myself, just recently, I would go to TikTok looking for answers. I would go to like Steve Harvey on Facebook, wherever I got an inspirational, encouraging word, something that was ministering to my soul or my spirit, I would go looking for it. And then he was telling me, Psalm 23, remember that, the passage. That's why I say you guys to be careful. Because sometimes people will like, don't mean that the word that they gave isn't fruitful. Good fruit, put it like that. Sometimes we perceive the word a little too early in our walk, in our journey. So I'm not knocking anybody that's doing the teachings of Jesus Christ or of the Lord and Savior, Yahweh God, or YHWH. Because they said it's not really Yahweh. Those letters supposed to pronounce the breath of life. But that's a whole nother topic. We speaking on not being distracted and staying focused in the midst of your storms, your trials and tribulations. Because that's exactly what's going on. I'm still in the middle of them. I'm still in the midst. And I know regardless of how everything turned out, it's for my good. And he loves me regardless of whether I go on stage and get the message across, or I go there and I flop and I freeze up and I can't get the word out. Doesn't mean that he loves me any less. Now when we on fire and we deliver that thing on time, just imagine your kid going to have the best, if it ain't sports, let's just say spelling bee, and they come out on top. Oh my goodness, boy, you gonna talk about that for days. The whole, you know what I mean, everybody that really love them, they gonna be excited. Now picture God in heaven, just look at that young woman, look at that young man. Boy, I knew they had it in them. Everybody up that chin, everybody that genuinely loves you in heaven, which I'm pretty sure that's pretty much everybody, because God is love, and to be around love, you gotta reciprocate love. I hope I use that in the right passage, because I'm posting this regardless. I'm not your intelligent speaking type of person. But sometimes the words just come to me, and then I'm like, oh, I think this is right. Don't hold it against me. So at the end of the day, well, never mind. Hold it against me. I spoke it. Here we go. We're finna dive into this thing, and hopefully, whoever it's for, they receive it. I'm gonna try to finish this mud. I'm at 17:21. If I'm try to finish it a little under 20, or right at 20, or maybe a little over. We can't put a time on it, but here we go. All right. Hopefully, y'all can still hear me. So, I had to remove me out of the picture, so you can grasp that even in our darkest times, mainly in our darkest times, because I heard passages where they were like, oh, the enemy likes to get you alone and isolate the big man so he can bind the big man. But what you got to understand is the enemy has no power over you. Psalms 23 speaks that. It speaks on the good shepherd and us being the sheep. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Do anybody even know what it is to be in a valley at night? To be in the valley of a mountain in the nighttime? Oh my God, that's some of the darkest moments of your life. I'm a traveler. I drive for a living. So I had to recently experience valleys. Not these lit up. You got some valleys that's lit up, but the ones that's not lit up. Oh, those some of the darkest areas in life. And it didn't say, as we walk through the valley of the shadows of death. That means I alone. Those are some of the times that God, and it say, for thou with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. In other words, my comfort is found in your strength, knowing that you are God over my life. Man, come on. Let's get that word before I run out of time. A lot of times when you are being isolated, it's for you to self-reflect, but not only self-reflect, but connect with God on a deeper, intimate moment of your life. All the distractions are gone. Not calling people in your, sometimes that they can be, but in order for you to truly love the people around you, you got to grasp how God sees you and how he loves you. You shouldn't have to go above and beyond to try to win people's approval or love, you know what I mean, or to make somebody proud. They should love you regardless. And this was for me. Mine was mainly on my kids. And then he spoke on, like, my situation with my wife. That's, just know that I don't really go into detail. But just know it's not on the up and up. Put it like that. And I hold my accountability to it. I hold some accountability to it. But at the same token, he said, I need for you to have that same love for her. And vice versa, but this ain't for, because a lot of time when we going through, we always put the fault and the blame on the other person. God, fix them. I'm working for you. I'm on the right path, and they just trying to bring distractions, and they just trying to be chaotic, and it's just them. Lord, fix them. No, Lord, fix me. Fix me. Because at the end of the day, you're supposed to love them regardless if they getting on your last nerve. You should love being around them regardless if you can't stand them. It be times I can't stand my kids, but I love being around them. It ain't just me trying to look like the dad of the year, because I'm far from it. You can have my baby mamas. I'm behind on child support at the moment. I pay what I can pay. Just know that I'm going through a storm the way it calls for me to be transparent to me and to others. And for somebody to grasp this, I got to be real with them. So I'm in the midst of a storm where I'm in a moment where I'm finna lose everything. But I know that it's gonna be alright. And in the midst of me finna lose everything, I had a proud moment. I'm 35 years old, and it was showing, what God was showing me was, bruh, you just had your own. And far as not even for other people's approval, but other people can relate in the time that you are living in, the fact that you stayed afloat this long, in spite of the struggles. You should be proud of yourself. And not in no self-pride way, but just knowing that something was accomplished and that God was with me through it all. I don't just say that to say this. Y'all gotta understand, the struggle means that you haven't been overtaken by what was trying to take you out. That means you got a fighting chance, and if it could overpower you, you would have been lost, but you didn't lose. The struggle means that you have a fighting chance. That means that you could come out on top, but only if you find your trust in the one and only true, living, loving God. In other words, we got to understand that it's nothing that we do, but it is something that we do. It's like this, it's so confusing, and it's confusing coming out of my mouth. Stop looking at God like, oh, well, I've done this, and I'm doing this, and I'm trying my best. He sees that you are trying your best. You know what I mean? He sees it. But you shouldn't be trying your best because you're trying to win his approval. He already done approved of you. He already loves you. Regardless of how hard you try, he already loves you. I got another message, and it's going to be on the chessboard, but that thing, that's so powerful, and he's still downloading it. Like my brother Justin was telling me, I got to get the full. Once I fully get it and have it deciphered and broken down to me to where I can pitch it to y'all, I got to digest it. Because what he was telling me, the table is already set for some of y'all that is waiting for the table to be set. I'm still in the midst of my storm, my trial, and my tribulation, but in the midst of my darkness, in the midst of me being in this valley of the shadow of death, he is teaching me. And what he is teaching me is the table is already set before the presence of your enemy. The plate is big. So you need to take this. You're no longer on formula. You're no longer on milk. It got hard. No. It ain't got hard. It's hard. And just like Justin just told me the other day, it's no longer getting real, it's real. The plate is before you. The meal is big. The plate is big. It's enough to feed everybody, even your enemies. But before you can feed them, you got to eat it properly and digest it. That way you can digest it properly. In other words, this is the time that you need to be connected to God more than anything else. Move all distractions out the way. Dive in your word a little more. If you ain't getting anything, pray a little harder. But open your mind too. Remove all of your obstacles, all of your circumstances that seem like they're bigger than God, because I was just in it. And trust me, you will not be able to hear him correctly or fully until you realize that something got to give. Lord, look, whatever it is that's in your way, move it. I don't care if it's me and me trying to help you accomplish what you already have accomplished. I just need to grasp and get the understanding that even if I lose it all, I still got you. And one thing about you is you're a provider regardless of whether I'm doing good or bad. You reign on the just and the unjust. Man, these folks here, man. But look here, I know I probably don't went over 20-something minutes because the phone is laying down in my lap. I can't see it. I did it that way so y'all can stop putting God in a box. I was doing it. I went looking for faces on TikTok, faces on Facebook, faces on Instagram. And he said, man, you got me just as much as they got me. But do not knock people. In other words, he will speak through whomever or he move however he choose to move. But stop going and looking in the same areas and in the same places and stop putting God in a box. I'm starting to get that passage. I'm starting to get that statement. We do it not knowing that we do it. And I caught myself like, Lord, I need a word, let me dive in the word, I need a word, let me. The word isn't for just self. You get where I'm coming from? Somebody broke that down. It ain't a self-help book, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's for us to grasp, okay, in a sense of a way it is, but stop looking for just stuff that comforts you. It ain't about just you. So, in other words, what I mean by that is, you going through it is rough, you get what you need out of it for you to build you up to where you like, okay, I'm going to be okay, and then you put it down. No, once you get what you need to proceed, you dive a little deeper and be like, okay, God, where do you need me? No, because he don't need us to do anything. Where do you want me in this passage? Where do you want me in this day? Because it's about a daily walk. I know that I'm woke for a reason. I know that you got me here for a reason. Even if that means that you just want me to go hold the door of the store all day and just greet people and tell them how much you love them and say, God bless you. And however you want me, wherever that place is, give me a word for your people. Now that I receive for me, give me something that I can pass on through me. But I love y'all. I'm gonna cut this short because I'm pretty sure I'm close to 30 minutes. I hope that this helps somebody. And if I will be able to put a title on it, to be trusting God in the midst of your storms. Letting go, letting God, and learning how to let go and let God. Because that's what I'm doing at the moment, man. Approach everything open-mindedly. To where you ain't running out, seeking out the God blindly. You seeking out the blindly because you know that you're looking for him in certain areas. Look for him in everything, man. Do not shut down nothing. I don't care if you 40, 50 years old and the message coming from a younger man or woman, or even a little boy or little girl. God speak to and through whomever he please. He uses whatever he feel like using. In other words, seek him in everything. Everything. I love y'all. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, and I guess I'm posting this on YouTube. And to the YouTube followers, if you made it to the end of this video, please share it if it touched you. Share it on social media platforms, because for all we know, not only is it for us, it's for somebody else too. Y'all stay up. One God, I knew I was close to 30. It's one God, one love, because we all connected in one life. And I don't say that in the sense of, oh, you live once. I say that in the sense of we're all connected as one. And once we realize that, the world could really be a better place. But most of us read the Bible, and we know how things finna get shaken up eventually to get there. Remember, one. Y'all stay up, stay blessed.